back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so today I did a thing where I put out a tweet on Twitter and I asked you guys to supply me with some numbers that would correspond to the 6 shelves I have of unread books and then the books on those shelves. So 6 of you gave me numbers. I'm sure loads of you have given me other numbers, but the 6 that came in first are the ones I went with. And then I just selected those books off of my shelves with the intention of trying to read them over the next few months. So the first one I chose, which was chosen for me actually, is Shelf 5 book number 9, and this is Space Opera by Catherine M. Valenti. I really wanted to read this one. Actually, I bought it in Dublin and it's one that was nominated for a Hugo. It didn't win, but it's definitely one that I've kind of had my eye on since before it came out. I thought it sounded really good, and I actually chose this book already to read very soon, so I'm quite pleased it's come up in this video as well. I can tick off 2 things. But this book was one that I planned on reading anyway because I've started a real life book club in the area that I've just moved to, and our first meeting is going to be in November. And the book I chose to read for that book club, because I thought it would be an easy, not too difficult read, is Space Opera by Catherine M. Valenti. So very happy that this one is going to be one that I'll read very soon, and looking forward to kind of picking it up and seeing what the hype is about. I believe it is Eurovision in space, so I'll let you guys know how I get on with all these books when I get to them, but I wanted a random selection, and using Twitter to choose numbers seemed like a good way to get a random selection off of my unread shelves. The next one you guys chose for me is this one. It's Willful Creatures by Amy Bender. This one I believe is a magical realism. That's what Amy Bender does, and this was on shelf number 2 as book number 10. Very intrigued about this one. I've only read one other book by Amy Bender, which was The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake, and I liked that one, but I think it was a bit of a middle of the road, kind of weird and wonderful. I don't know how well I get on with magical realism. Sometimes I really like them, sometimes I don't, and her first book that I read was a little bit in the middle, so I wanted to pick up another one of hers to see if I like her still. And I know she's an author that a lot of people do really enjoy, but magical realism's very hit and miss with me. It's a fantastical world where there is a boy with keys for fingers, a family of pumpkin heads, and potato children who follow their mother around as she completes daily chores. So I mean, it definitely sounds pretty interesting. It's always a bit weird when you read magical realism, but it's a short one, so I'm happy about that, as a lot of the others that you guys chose are fairly long. So we'll see if I enjoy that when I get to it. The next one that was chosen is shelf number 6, book number 15, and that is this one, my slightly tatty copy of Alana, The First Adventure by Tamora Pierce. It's the first one in the Song of the Lioness series, and it's a very short, easy book, I think. From a lot of people, I've heard that this is like one of their first childhood fantasy reads and they really, really like it. So it's definitely one I want to try out, and I've had on my shelf for quite a long time now and haven't got to. So it would be good to kind of get to it a little bit sooner. This one is one that a lot of you guys just seem to rave about, and Tamora Pierce in general gets a lot of hype, and I've never read any of her books, so I think it is about time. I think it's a fairly stereotypical fantasy, so I won't read you the blurb or anything, but I'll let you know what I think when I get to it. The next book which was chosen is a chunky one, and that is this one by Ian Graham. It's The Path of the Hawk, and this one is shelf number 3, book number 14. This one is a grimdark adventure, and it's about the Hawks, who are an elite pack of soldiers and spies entrusted with the most violent and unsavoury tasks, so it sounds like it's going to be pretty gruesome. It's about a man who publishes blasphemous texts, and the Hawks are kind of sent to investigate, but as truth turns to lies, the Hawks find themselves at the heart of a conflict whose seeds were sown millennia ago. So I've not read any of the books by this author. Let me know if you guys have read this and what you thought of it if you have. The next one you guys chose is the first in a series. It's called Romanattis, and it's by Sophia McDougall. I got this one the other day, and this is shelf 5, book number 15. This one is about the Roman Empire if it was continued into today's world, and it sounds pretty interesting, I must admit. A lot of you guys said that you would definitely be up for reading it or hearing what I thought about it when I hauled it very recently, so it's good that this one has come up early. Maybe that means I'll actually get to it a lot sooner. So yeah, and the final one which I got selected was this one, which is a non-fiction. It's by Cordelia Fine and it's called A Mind of Its Own, How Your Brain Distorts and Deceives, which is book number 7 on shelf number 3. And this one, I don't know too much about it, but it's all about psychology of the brain. It seems pretty interesting, and I've heard good things about this author in general. I seem to recall Mercedes doing a video about them, and a couple of other people seem to have mentioned this author, but I've never read any of their books, so seems like it's about time, and I think non-fiction November's right around the corner, so I figure having a non-fiction or 2 in this is pretty good, actually. So yeah, those are the 6 books you guys chose for me to read. I will definitely be interested to see what I think of them, and it's quite a mixture of different things, so I'd love to have your thoughts if you've read any of them below, or which ones you think I should start with. Obviously, space opera is probably going to be the first one because it makes sense with the schedule of the book club. But after that, I'd love to have your thoughts. Which ones are you most interested for me to review? And leave me all your comments below. Thank you all so much for watching and for helping me choose these books, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye guys!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.